Hello again. Me. I'm in Norway and I was staying at my friend's country cabin for a couple of days. It was really, really nice. So peaceful and so quiet. It was, oh my god, heavenly. And now I am off to Kristiansand, which is sort of the southern tip of Norway, and from there I'm going to probably stay overnight, and then from there I'm going to take a ferry to Denmark tomorrow and start making my way to southern part of Europe towards London. I probably would have just carried on driving until the end of the month and explored other places, but I have some guests coming who had planned to come to London a long time ago in December, so I need to go and be with them. But then I could just head off again, since I'm unemployed again. Yes, I don't think I told you, but basically the company that I was working for, it was a startup, and they hired me a bit too late, I think, because they'd been running for about 18 months, and then they hired me, and within 2 months they ran out of money. So we had to let pretty much everyone go, and I'm unemployed again. So I thought, why not use this opportunity to travel around instead of sitting in London in December and being bored. So why not go on a road trip? Hence, I have been exploring Scandinavia. I love the snow and I love the cold, so most people are going away to warmer places. I'm heading to the colder places. And having a four-wheel drive with winter tires is just amazing. You can pretty much go everywhere and it's fine. I thought there would be magical tires and you would never skid, but if there's ice on the road and you accelerate, then the car does skid a little. In this part of Norway, they have very many yellow houses and cabins instead of the red ones that we expect to see everywhere in Scandinavia. From the documentaries and films and watching stuff on TV, it's all red and white huts, but when you come here, there's plenty of white and yellow ones as well. So it's a little different, but I wanted the red ones, so I'm disappointed. So I'm sitting here in an Audi dealership in Norway, and basically the car was telling me the fuel level was low, so I topped it up, but I didn't pay much attention, so I put more oil, and when I started the engine it started telling me that the oil level was too high. Anyhow, I took it to a dealership, an Audi dealership in Stockholm, and they kind of fobbed me off. They said, oh no, it doesn't matter, as long as you're not going over 300 miles an hour, it's fine, and it's just too much hassle to remove it, so it will just burn it off. And I know that if you have too much oil, it can burn the catalytic converter or damage it. Anyhow, so I kept driving slowly and I came here to Norway. Audi dealership in Stockholm wanted me to make an appointment. These guys are just turned up, and I said, well, I have put too much oil, can you help? And they said, yeah, sure. Such lovely, friendly people here. And they said, yeah, they put the key in this little reading device that told them everything about the car, and they said, yes, there's a quarter of a litre more than what there should be, so we can remove it. And so nice. Whereas in Sweden they asked me to come at 7 a.m. in the morning, and then they just kind of came up with all these excuses of why it can't be done and it's all right. Very, very impressed with Norwegians as always. Very nice people. Hi, I'm here in... What's the name of the town?
Norway Moss.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm here in Norway, in Moss, at the Audi dealership. And these guys are so lovely and friendly. Peter here is arranging for the oil to be reduced in my car. And is not Peter, Petter. Petter.
But most people call me Pete, so it's okay.
Okay. Well, if you're ever in this part of the world, in Norway, near Moss, or in Moss, and you have an Audi, you have to come to this Audi dealership. They are such lovely people. They didn't even charge me for reducing the oil. It has again proven to me that Norwegians are so amazing and so friendly. So far, the last couple of days that I've spent here in Norway have been amazing. Everyone is friendly and nice and sweet and genuine. And yes, maybe I should have spent more time in Oslo than in Stockholm, because Stockholm is always lovely and nice and I have friends there, but getting this kind of treatment from complete strangers is so amazing. Like these people, they didn't know me from Adam. I didn't even have an appointment, I just walked up. And everyone, the mechanics and the staff, the salespeople, they were all so friendly and lovely. Well done, Norway. You make good people. So I'm now in a place, or in a town called Moss in Norway, and there's a ferry that we need to take to cross over from this side to the other side of this little inverted V beneath Oslo. So I'm going to Kristiansand, and either I have to drive all the way back to Oslo and then come down, or I just take a ferry. And ferry, 30 minutes and you're on the other side, much better than driving for an hour and a bit. I hope there's a cafe or something. Nice. Coffee and some food maybe. So as you may or may not know, I have a sweet tooth. A massive one. So everywhere I go and I see something sweet, like a local thing, I always want it, even though it's not very healthy. Still don't have a hotel booked, so there is a risk, like last time, that drama in Germany might happen again. But from my experience of Norway, the quality of food and hotels is really, really nice. As I said in my video last time when I was in Bergen in Norway, that Norway is like Switzerland with friendly people and great food. But the quality of hotels is much, much better, because all the Swiss hotels I've stayed in were really poor, and they didn't really care much because I think they get enough tourists and visitors. The quality and the standards aren't very good, but in Norway, for the same price that you pay in Sweden or Denmark or Switzerland, you get good quality stuff. Welcome, this time from Kristiansand, where I am stuck for the next 5 hours. As incompetent, as stupid as I am, I didn't check the ferry crossing times. I assumed that, just like everywhere else, there'll be a crossing every hour or every 2 hours. There are only 2 crossings a day, one in the morning, one in the evening. And while I was having a shower this morning, my ferry was sailing away to Denmark. I got to the ferry port only to find out everything was closed, and I was like, whoa. maybe there's a storm or something coming and they have closed the ferry terminal. And then I checked online, checked all the options from all around Norway and even Sweden. I thought maybe I should drive over to Sweden and then take a ferry from there. Nothing, no choice. So I have to kill time in Kristiansand, which is a small city on the southern tip of Norway. Doesn't seem like there's much to do except for this beautiful church behind me. And yeah, exciting. Ethan's moronic decisions and stupidity and lack of planning and checking into shitty motels and missing ferries and being stuck in Norway. Anyhow, I thought I should report so you guys don't think that I am Mr. Organized and Mr. Perfect. I'm a human being and a moron. Yes, I'm sleeping. I am tired. Kristiansand is such a small town, there's nothing to do. I drove around to all the neighborhoods around it, went to the little fjords and lakes and all the little towns, and after 2 hours I was bored. It's still 2 hours before the ferry. So I've come to the car park outside the ferry and decided to have a nap in the car. I don't know what else to do now. Next time I will check in advance what time the ferries leave and not assume that they leave every half hour like they do in other countries. Obviously they don't have that much traffic going through Norway to Denmark. When I was going from one part of Norway to the other, there was a ferry every half an hour. So I assumed that at least there'd be one every 2 hours or more. But there are only 2 ferries a day. Right, I'm gonna have a nap. Over and out. Finally, I am about to board this boat. Okay, so I'm on the boat, the ferry. It's much nicer than the ones we have crossing the channel. And this one has a lot of Christmas decorations. Like these ones. This whole section is now decorated next to the restaurant, which is kind of cool. And there's a restaurant area here. I think people might be annoyed if I film the other way, so I'm gonna walk and film. I'm rather hungry and hoping that they'll have some food here. No, I'm not on an old-fashioned plane. This is actually the deck on the deck, the upper deck, yeah, on the ferry. Either No one wants to come and sit here. Or everyone's busy eating because the restaurants are open, so maybe that's why it's completely empty. It's bizarre. So, or maybe people didn't want to pay to get a seat. That could be another reason. But it wasn't very expensive to get a seat here, so who knows? We'll see. So I had to leave the dog in the car because the kennel, which is on board, is quite cold and the car was warmer. And on this particular boat, you're not allowed to bring the dog on board. So after a couple of hours, you can go and check on the dog. So now I have to go find someone to take me through.